All right, day 2, here we go. Thanks for tuning back in. Yesterday we did letter A as the start of our ABC challenge, and I'm gonna just go to the information really quickly in case this is your first time joining me. And these videos are 1 letter per video, and it is all for the ABC challenge. And so if you want to check it out, it is over on Instagram. These are the hashtags you'll want to know. In yesterday's video for letter A, I accidentally added an underscore here, and I shouldn't have, if you want to check out my own alphabet. And so just wanted to clarify that. And here we go. So these are the 3 steps that I try to do each time I do a letter. And I'm going to jump right in so that we could just get as much done as we can. So today is letter B, and I'm excited because I have more names this time. I asked some people on Instagram to give me some ideas of what names to write this time, so we're gonna be more prepared. Okay, so and forgive me for being a little flustered. It is 11 o'clock, and these are supposed to be at 9 p.m. and it was a little rough today with the baby, but it's okay, we're here. So let's go with the first one. Let me bring you guys in closer. Okay, so for the first letter I'm going to demo, I'm going to do the lowercase b. Okay, so let's just go right into it. So entrance stroke, ascending stem loop, okay, which transitions into an underturn, and then a comma dot, or you can refer to that as an eyelet. Okay, just a little bit of pressure there. You can also break up the ascending stem loop a little bit more. I like to do that. Okay, and so what that looks like is you could do the loop and then stop here, taper off at the baseline, and then finish up here with an entrance stroke. Or you can even break it down even further, and this is one I've been liking lately, where you start off up here a little bit above that that first ascender line and start off with a hairline and then add some pressure. Remember, we talked about calling the shade a swell, and then tapering off, you can finish your exit stroke, and then you can come back up here and then finish the loop that way. And the thing I like about that is it gets you to focus first on keeping that shade on your slant line. Remember, we talked about the slant line here, and we talked about keeping that shade or that swell on that slant line. Okay? All right, so let's put it all together, and you have your lowercase b. Okay, now I figured we could do, let's do that one more time. I want to keep that comma dot a little bit more inside of that stroke there. There we go. Okay, let's do a couple of variations of the letter B, because I know this one might not be everyone's favorite. So a few other ways I like to do my letter B. Same concept, but I might want to just make this sort of like a backwards oval. Okay, so I still have my ascending stem loop, but I just go into an oval here. Or you can get a little bit more modern. And if you know me, I don't get too modern, so that's about as modern as you'll tend to see me get. And another variation is actually bringing it back to what you saw earlier, but not putting any pressure here. This one I would advise not to do if you are leading into a letter like an R or like an N that doesn't really have a shade right here, because it just kind of looks a little bit bare. Okay, All right, so let's do the uppercase B. We could probably squeeze it in here. Actually, no, let's go to a different line here. So for the uppercase B, we want to have our capital stem. Okay, and with this stroke, you want to keep, and this one probably was a little bit too bottom heavy. Let's do it one more time. It's really hard to film with a camera in your face. I don't know if you've ever tried that before, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay, so with the capital stem, you really want to focus on keeping this middle portion here on that slant line again. See that? Okay, so that's kind of an indication of where you want to put that shade. And then you can finish out here with a terminal dot if you'd like. Okay, and then after that stroke, I'm going to pull it apart here because remember, we're going to break up the strokes first. Okay, so this is the first part. It's a little tricky if you don't have, if I'm not connecting it with that stem just yet, but that's kind of how it looks by itself. And then the next stroke, it's basically coming out of there, and you can either finish here or you can finish out here. That's the bottom part of the letter B. So when we put that all together, it looks like this. Swell on the slant line, then taper back off into a hairline. Add pressure, but then get back to a hairline. Okay, and I'm going to finish out here. Okay, let's do it one more time. Swell, oops, a little bit not very smooth of a transition, but that's okay. And I must be honest with you, B's are probably one of my least strong capital letters. How about you? Let me know in a comment what your probably least favorite uppercase letter is. And just so you guys know, I see someone asking in the chat, these pens, I will list them down below in the description after this video is over, but I'm using a Kuretake Fudegokochi pen here, and the ones that I tend to love using are these Pentel Sign Pens here. Okay. All right. And then let's kind of dissect the uppercase B just really briefly. And so you want to really maintain, again, that capital stem here. Okay, sorry, there's a lot of lines going on. But this part here you want to keep on the slant line, okay? You want to just really maintain ovals everywhere you can, okay? If I learned anything from my good friend Nina, who helped me originally host the ABCs, she really helped me see the beauty in copper plate when she just pointed out ovals everywhere. It was amazing. You could even just see this larger oval in the sense of the B. Okay, and I used to not see that very well, and so I love sharing that now with you. And so I hope that helps you. And this is just, remember, my style that I'm doing for the challenge. You are welcome to do anything. Here's kind of a fun little exercise I did on my own, just any kind of different lettering styles. I used all brush pen here, but I just wanted to throw that out there in case you're feeling a little bit constricted or confined to my style. You don't have to do that, but that's just so you know. Okay, I wanted to keep this space up here on purpose because I wanted to show you two different letters that the B connects to, where you may want to pick and choose which variation to do. Okay, so here's what I mean. If you connect to a letter R, for example, I've noticed that it just looks a little bit bare in that space. So I sometimes consciously choose a different style of a letter B when it comes to this area here, okay, because of this space. So then I might do something like this, and then I'll go into the rest of the word. But see how that choice of that B gives it a little bit more, a little bit more shade, I would say. Okay. All right, so let's keep on going now. Nice to see you guys joining in, though. Those of you in the live chat, thank you. I apologize for how late I had to hop on today, but I'm just glad I made it. So next I'm going to do some names, and I have some names prepared here, and then I'll grab ones that I see in the chat. So this one was really interesting because 2 different people requested it like back to back. So I don't know if there's a conspiracy there, but I thought I would do it anyway because I thought that was so cool that 2 people requested it. Okay, so remember yesterday with the letter A video, I talked about some uppercase letters can connect to the next letter, the next lowercase letter, but not always, okay? So I will try to point that out when I can. So this name here is, I'm going to say Beatrix. Not really sure if I said that right. Okay. Another name I wanted to do is Bailey. I thought that was such a pretty name. And these are names that people on Instagram told me about when I did a little call for name suggestions. And I realized that there are so many other names that I wish I could get to, but that just makes me excited to save it for another post, another video. Maybe I could just keep using this bank of names that people shared with me. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the name, let's see who's in the chat. I saw, ooh, that is kind of tricky. Bolu Watife. I hope I said that right. Okay. Hi, Pamela. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to try this name here. And I hope I said that right. Please correct me. Okay, so one thing I want to point out with the letter B is the balance between the top loop and the bottom loop. Okay, you want the bottom one to not be so much bigger than the top one, and that's definitely something that I've been working on. So when I get more tips for you guys, I really want to devote another video to troubleshooting these letters. I don't know how you guys feel, but I wanted these videos to be super short, and you know, as I made that commitment, I know myself, and I don't know. Let me focus here a little bit. W-A. T. I. F. E. And there looks like a little, probably, accent mark there. Okay. And, oh, I'm so glad. And so what I wanted to say, oh, I lost my train of thought, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you want to be careful about the size of the top. Oh, sorry. Okay. These live broadcasts are throwing me off, but I'm so glad I'm doing them just to get used to being live with you guys. I want to sort of take each letter and really tear them apart because I feel like these videos are super fun and short and sweet, but at the same time they just leave me, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm just like on the edge of my seat hanging. Okay, so we'll do one more name here. Let's do, I have a name here. Buddy, how interesting. Okay. Okay, so again, if you're just hopping on, thanks for joining in, and I've made it a point to just keep a lot of these name suggestions because there are just so many, and I would love to eventually get to everyone's names, but it's just such a challenge to squeeze it all in. Okay, so I'm gonna peek over here at the chat briefly, just want to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna just stick to names with today's letter, which is letter B, and I want to just go over really quickly so you can see how I did today's lesson. Strokes, then I demo the letter itself, and then we'll break it down when we get a chance to, but you guys can see how these videos could just be so long. And so thank you for all the name suggestions, and I'm going to put details down below. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm super glad to be making it, even though it's a little late, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing letter C, so be sure to subscribe so you'll know once I go on, and if you want to catch me on Instagram, you can find me at Pieces Calligraphy, and there you'll be able to kind of get more of my day-to-day insights with everything, and I will answer some of your questions in the comments, so leave a comment below if you enjoyed this, and if you are participating in the challenge, I'd love to know if you are, and I will catch you guys next time, tomorrow, same time, well, hopefully a lot earlier. All right, bye guys.